Today I'm going to be running you through everything you need to know about the 10th edition Ork Codex leaks and drops that the Games Workshop has given to us in the last couple of days, ranging from things like how many detachments we're having and what those detachments are representing, who's coming into the Codex with us and who's dropping from the Codex, to even how Games Workshop has chosen to interestingly design and word the detachments for the Ork 10th edition Codex. And I am so excited to make this video. Now, as you may realize, I'm recording my audio with a headset, and there's a valid reason for me doing that. If you've been following my channel recently, you know that I've been having some tremendously horrible audio issues that have been ruining some of my videos I try to post for you guys. So, I made a pledge to myself that I would not record with that microphone until I get my new microphone, so my videos were the top quality, thinking that the Ork Codex was ages away from dropping, and I could save it till then. But, Games Workshop only recently actually dropped the Ork Codex pretty much yesterday for me in Australia, and it kind of was annoying, so I need to make a video on it. I cannot pause this, wait till later. I want to make a video on it now to run you through everything you need to understand about the Ork Codex and how we're going to be looking in the future. I'm so excited to talk about this. We've got a lot to run through, so let's just jump straight into it with everything you need to know about the Ork 10th edition Codex. Now, the main stuff. What is the important stuff we need to know before we go into all of the community page and have a look at all the interesting little side things that Games Workshop has dropped with the Ork Codex? Well, the main thing is that we have 6 detachments, and they're actually a lot different than you think. The first one is going to be the Hunt, which is the Beast Snaggle oriented detachment. We all know this. The next one is going to be the Cult of Speed, which is the Speedy Boy detachment. The Dread Mob detachment, which is the Mechs and the Walkers. The Waaagh Horde detachment, which is going to be the Goths. The Green Tide, which is going to be kind of like a Horde and a little boy oriented. And the Bully Boys, which are going to orientate more towards like these tougher, more elite kind of infantry units resembling in Orks. Now, no Dakka detachment. As you know, I wanted to make a Dakka list so badly. I wanted to make a Battle Wagon Looter Mech combo. I wanted to get all the freaking Grot tanks and like these hard shooting units we haven't seen for so long. I wanted to make a competitive list. I wanted to go on some tourneys with it, but we don't have it. There is no detachment that represents the Bad Moons, and it sucks because Game Workshop's actually done something very different. Instead of doing last edition where they had like just the clans and they had like basically just full stop on that, they've made it more kind of like fighting styles. So instead of like you get buffs for shooting because you're a Bad Moons, it's now more oriented towards different play styles and different kinds of fighting styles instead of just the regular clans and colors have to offer, which is cool in itself, but I really wanted to see a Bad Moons attachment. I'm sad I can't run my looters. I can't run my Battle Wagon looter combo. Like, I can't do all this stuff. I can't have my 3 Morkanauts, 3 Gorkanauts just purposely for shooting. I can't have that anymore. Bit sad, bit annoyed, but hey, that's what happens. No Dakka attachment. Be nice if there was one, but that's not what it is. But, like, from the ones we got, I'm not complaining. Some of these are really, really cool. We only have some leaks for 2, which is the Dread Mob and the Green Tie, which I'll go over later in my video. But overall, all these are looking really nice and really clean, and I actually was really excited to see them in full depth and what they have to offer. Now, what about the removed data sheets? Because we went into the edition with 57 data sheets, we now have 51. Bit sad, bit annoying, but we've lost basically 6 detachments, 6 data sheets, which is annoying. But we have replaced one, which is okay. But let's just jump straight into it with basically who we're losing. So the first one's going to be Boss Stagstruck. No one really used Boss Struck anyway. There were combos for using it. In my recent Ork gem video I talked about it, but like, honestly, not that bad. Being back with Custom Force Field, fair enough. When we actually talk about the Green Tide, recently we'll talk about how they're really getting into kind of like the toughness and the tanky Orks. So this guy being removed, fair enough. Melbourne Smasher Squig's data sheet is removed, and I think he's now going to be a sergeant. Like, he's no longer just like a character in itself, he's just a sergeant now, so, I mean, fair enough. He was pretty overpowered with, like, the Edwarp's Kill Chopper, giving him dead wounds throughout to monsters and vehicles, which sucked for any, like, heavy, like, vehicle-based list, but that's not going to be anymore, and he's going to be a sergeant, kind of like the boss snob is with the boys. Next one's going to be Captain Badrock. Captain Badrock's gone. Everyone cries. L's in the chat. Everyone's crying online. Captain Badrock is gone. Our flash gets trash now. Are we not going to see them? Probably. Honestly, the rerolls, the hit rolls, really think it made them good. And with that going now, I don't think you'll be using much of it. Maybe as a side shooting unit, but Captain Badrock is what to put the cherry on top and basically flavored the whole cake for flash kits. And him going now kind of sucks. So I don't know, like, a flash gets gone? Maybe. You have to see. Knob with wire banner is also gone. Fair enough. Double wiring was a little bit annoying, and I can see why they removed him from the game. Mad Dog Rotsnake's gone. Don't really know why. He wasn't used too much, but he's gone. And Mechboy Workshop is leaving. Now, for all your GW players, fair enough, but your WTC players can't even use the bringable terrain anyway. Doesn't really matter for them for the Mechboy Workshop. But overall, sad to see some of the resin models going. Like, I like some of these models, it's cool. I never bought a Bedrock model, I just used the proxy, so I'm not too sad about that. But overall, kind of sucks. I was looking to getting into the Boss Extract combination with like a 10 Stormboy combo for like a nice bounty hunter unit, but like, that's not going to be happening anymore. Bit sad, bit annoying, but hey, that's what happens. So that's the main stuff. 6 new attachments, 6 guys gone, but that's not even close. I'm going to switch over to the community page of Warhammer now to show you all of the in-depth kind of attachment rules and things we're going to be going over, so you get the full grasp of what the Orks and Edition Codex is going to look like. Now I switched over to the Warhammer community page. We're going to be going over all the official leaks and drops that Warhammer has given for the Green Tide and Dread Mob attachment. And trust me, you're going to be hella surprised when you see the direction they've chose to go on with these attachments. And it makes me super excited to see things like the Cult of Speed and the Hunt attachment, because the way they've gone with the attachments are actually super interesting, and trust me, you're going to be super surprised. So as we were talking about before, you can see that they're really kind of not really going with the colours anymore. Like, those days are more gone. The 6 attachments found in the Codex are more concerned towards the way they choose to fight, basically. You're not really going to be stuck with, like, the regular fighting styles. Like, yeah, they're going in a different direction. They don't want to have the regular clans anymore. They're not doing the Space Marine approach where they have, like, just, the Firestorm, the Ironstorm, and all that. They're going with different ways of crumping. Different directions, different playstyles. Fair enough. No longer the colour of the shirt, but now the Orc that choose to crump. So, let's just jump straight into it. We've got plenty to go over. So, first of all, the Green Tide, the mob mentality. This is going to be the attachment rule for the Green Tide. Basically, the Orks you choose to take is going to have to be filled with all your boys. It's going to be filled with all your knobs. It's going to be having like 100 model count of boys. Or it's going to be having you sitting at your desk for multiple weeks just painting Ork boys. This is going to be the Green Tide attachment. It's going to be like filling the board with just boys and simply kind of pressuring the enemy with like quantity instead of quality. So the overall thing is that the boys now have a 5 invulnerable save against the attack. So each time they're attacked, shooting, psychic, anything, they have a 5 invulnerable save all the time. So basically, the Waaagh rule, the 5 invulnerable save all the time. And they also, if you have 10 or more units in that, you get to reroll a saving throw of 1 against an attack. So most people are talking about how this makes them super tanky. This now makes all the Ork boys, all the Ork knobs crazy. Fair enough, but you're only rerolling a saving throw of 1, so it's not intense, and a 5 invulnerable save is good, but it's not amazing. So yes, this detachment is kind of oriented towards the hoardy side of Orks, and not only that, but also the tanky side of Orks. As you see from like some of the enhancements and other things, they really want to go in with the idea of keeping your boys alive, or having so many of them, which is kind of like the organic Ork way anyway. So the mob mentality focuses on kind of like hoardy Orks, along with a lot of toughness, as you can see from here. 5 invulnerable save, along with the reroll saving throw if you have 10 or more units, which most of the time you are, because the main unit going to be using this is going to be your boys. We love the boys, coming back with the Green Tide mentality. But that's the mob mentality. Alright, doesn't make them crazy, but it's not a kind of a balanced way of keeping your Orks tough, but not making them super overpowered. So this is kind of like the ferocious show-offs. Each time you bear fights while resolving those attacks, add 1 to the strength characteristic of the bearer's melee weapon. If the bearer's unit contains 10 or more units, when resolving that, add 3 to the strength of your characteristic instead. So basically, when you take your Warboss, just your regular Warboss with your 20 boys, you're going to be getting that extra 3 to strength, meaning you're going to have like strength 14 in the Waaagh, or strength 13 just regularly, which is crazy. So Warboss is going to pop off. Things who can lead, basically anyone who can just lead boys are going to be going great with this. Giving them more attack is going to be crazy, and personally I think that this is awesome. This isn't like crazy overpowered. It doesn't make the characters leading them like insane. It just kind of makes them different. It gives them more chance of attacking, and basically buffs up those characters to do more damage. Like I said, Warboss with strength 14 in the Waaagh, I'm not complaining. That's pretty good. The Bulldozer Brutality. This one's interesting. It works a lot with the idea of being in an engagement range, and instead of having to touch bases, it's now just 3 inches. So there's with the CP, if you've got a large squad of knobs, a large squad of boys, put this enhancement over them, and suddenly it works with engagement range. So if you're with engagement range, suddenly until the end of your phase, each time you selected to fight, determine which models are eligible to fight, and your model within 3 inches of the enemy are eligible to fight. Meaning that it's not just touching bases or touching the bases of the bases who's touching the bases, it's now just 3 inches. Meaning if you stack all your orcs in a circle, they can all fight as long as they're within 3 inches. Now, it does say here, each time you select this unit to fight. Meaning this can work not only with you fighting and then you fighting again in the opponent's fight phase, but also working for things like coherency. Because if they're just selected to fight, that's kind of like the Death Company Dreadnought in Blood Angels, where it's like you can have an infinite fight cycle because every time he gets attacked, he can fight back. This works the same way. If the coherency works, you could have a lot more fight phases every single time. So, not exactly the same, it's a bit skewed, but this is pretty interesting as looking for a whole of your stock. And it's every time you selected to fight, not your fight phase, it's every time you selected to fight, meaning every time you get this, you put your orcs close enough, they're going to be doing a bunch of damage. Interesting one. People are going a bit insane over this because of the thing I just mentioned. So keep in mind that this is pretty good. It's not insane, but it's kind of alright. This one's going to be Come On Lads. Now, this is the Pain Boy combo I've been working with. This is the Pain Boy combo 101. Basically, CP, you bring back D3 plus 2 models in your unit every command phase. So, you chuck a Pain Boy in there who gets to bring back D3 models as well with his, I think it's his War Gear ability or his regular ability, something to do with his ability. Pain Boss brings it back, D3 plus 2 models plus D3 models from Warboss. Suddenly, you've got a super tanky unit that's going to be shredding it. So this attachment right here, this CP alone, is going to see like 1, 2, or even 3 Pain Boys coming in. Pain Boy is coming back, especially with Mad Dog Grotsnick being removed from the game. Pain Boy is coming back in this attachment. He's going to be seeing a high rise S tier for this attachment, $100, I bet. This is what's going to be seeing it, especially with this CP. You're going to be seeing a lot more theft coming through. Like, they even talk about attach a Pain Boy to this maximum durability. Like, you are seeing the art of the Pain Boy coming back with it. So, just saying, if you want to run this thing, get ready to paint some Pain Boys because it's going to be going. Now, this is fun, but the next attachment is even better, which is going to be the Dread Mob attachment. Now, this is what we've been seeing. It's that. Like, it's the one we've been wanting for. It's the mech walkers, plus the mechs, plus the grot vehicles, plus all this stuff, which is insane. It's what we've been waiting for with the Dread Mob. Obviously, I'm still sad there's no Daka attachment, but hey, this is probably one of my second best, if not for the Hunt attachment. Now, try the button. This is interesting. This is something I don't think I've seen in Orks before, where it's a dice roll for the ability. Basically, each time a mech, orc, walker, or grot vehicle unit from an army is selected to fight or shoot, which is good because it's a unit. It's no longer just the models. It's a unit, meaning the entire unit of grot tanks, the entire unit of killer cans, and maybe the entire unit of Death Dreads if they choose to run them with 3s now. Not bad. Basically, every time you roll it, every time the unit chooses to attack, you basically roll 1d6, and depending on what number you get, is these attacks you get to get here. Basically, if you get a 1 or a 2, get sustained hits, get 3 or 4 lethal hits, and 5 to 6 is basically each time it's made with a weapon on a critical hit, improve the armor penetration characteristic by 2, meaning every crit wound does plus 2 to AP, which is probably the worst one, but hey, that's alright. But you don't have to just do that. If you wanted to, you could choose basically just to choose one. You just just choose one and just go for gold. You could just be like, oh, no, I don't really want to roll, I'll just choose one. But if you do, unless you say you choose lethal hits, you have to take the hazardous test on that weapon. Now, the hazardous test basically just means if you fail, you take D3 damage. I think you take 3 mortal wounds, or you just die if you're a regular unit. If a weapon equipped with the model already has the hazardous ability, however, you multiply the scores. Each time you take a hazardous test, it is failed on a 1 and a 2. This balances this thing perfectly. Like, this is a great rule right here, because that makes suddenly, you don't realize, taking it from a 1 to a 1 and a 2 makes the thing like 33% worse. It's not math, I'm just like guessing here, but like, it makes it worse, which sucks and is very annoying, so you gotta watch out, because trust me, when it comes in, you're going to be having a horrible time. Because like, if they don't do it well, you don't realize how much this actually makes it worse. This here makes it so much worse for this, which ultimately balances the whole rule out overall. So, maybe not like the most amazing detachment rule. It's pretty good. Lethal hits, sustained hits with hazardous, it's not bad. And you don't really see many hazardous things on vehicles anyway. I haven't dived deep into vehicles, so you don't really see many hazardous stuff anyway. So ultimately, this might be a very competitive attachment to run, especially with the idea of getting lethal hits with things like rot tanks, or sustained hits with rot tanks, or getting lethal hits with Death Dread if you're running with a Battle Shock kind of oriented list. Trust me, like, you're going to be seeing some high stuff with this attachment. The biggest shells for bigger gits is one of their stratagems, and basically each time you use a stratagem on a mech, an orc walker, or a grot vehicle, which is any kind of like vehicle unit oriented towards that, and it'll have these keywords, you can choose to push it until the end of the phase. Each time a model makes an attack, that target a monster will add 1 to the wound roll. So basically, if you target a monster or a vehicle, you get 1 to the wound roll. If you choose to push it again, you get to add 1 to the damage characteristic of the attack. So basically, you get to add 1 to the wound roll and add 1 to the damage roll characteristic of the ranged weapon. Because with model now have the hazardous ability. So basically, you get +1 to wound, and you get +1 to damage for the monsters or vehicles you choose to fight. So nice anti-monster vehicle there, bit of anti-tank, a tiny bit if you have strong weapons, but you get hazardous. Kind of hazardous seems to be a theme with this thing. Annoying, but +1 to damage, +1 to wound, plus lethal hits or sustained hits. Not bad. Sure, you're getting hazardous on top of the hazardous, but like, you're doing some insane damage. Especially if you get some killer cans who are solely meant for shooting. Get them grot zookas, get the can shooters, even the scorchers. Trust me, man. This is going to work really well, and you're going to be seeing some hard hitting units who are doing really well in the current attachment. Especially like coming back with thread-ons. That's the entire review for that. Honestly, not bad. We're going to move on to the next one now, which basically just runs you through the Sunday previews, which is the green or gold, which is really controversial right now. Basically just like different things to do with the Orks. So, first of all, is that the Ork Codex. We're not just getting the Ork Codex. I think this art sucks. It's so bland. We're getting the actual collector's edition, which looks so much better and is so much cleaner. It's going to be so much more expensive though. But the good thing is we don't just get this artwork. I really didn't like this artwork, so I'm so glad they came with the collector's edition. And obviously you can download it online with the Waaagh app if you choose to buy the codex. So, Battle Force Stomper Boys, this one is so lame. Like, it's honestly not that good. You get looters, but I'm so disappointed that there's no detachment for shooting now with the bad moons. I don't even want to look at looters anymore. I'm so sad about that. The mech brings it back a little bit, sure. But he replaces him with KFF. Stomper needs a point reduction. I hope he gets a points reduction. When he comes out on Saturday or Sunday, I hope he gets a points reduction. You get a bunch of boys and like a truck. So not really the best, no one's really too hyped about this. Kind of annoying and ultimately not even worth really looking at it. Next one's going to be the new combat patrol for the Orks, which is going to be a completely beast sniper oriented one, which is going to go really well with the hunt. But that's nice. One of the things they say in this is the backed up by 4 squig boys. And as you remember, the data sheet for the Nobon's Magic Squig is removed. So suddenly, that could mean that squig are now run in groups of 4. Because if they've kept Nobon's Magic Squig's model, meaning that now they run in groups of 4 or 8, potentially, if they don't include him as a sergeant. If they just remove him completely, fair enough. But if he's kept as a sergeant, it now means that we're going to be seeing groups of 4 to 8 being run of the squig boys, which is interesting. But anyway, this is the detachment. Basically, you get you get 20 Beast Snagger boys, and I won't be surprised if we start seeing 2 or 3 20 blobs with the hunt, because it's going to be going with toughness, I bet. And honestly, it's not bad. It's pretty well worth it, and if you already have a bunch of squig involved, I think it's honestly a pretty good attachment. You get 20 squig boys, you get 4 squig boys, you get Beast Boss, and you don't really get much. I would have liked if they replaced 1 Beast Snagger squad, because you usually take 10, it's so expensive, with like, I don't know, a different kind of Beast Snagger unit, maybe like Mozrog, or Beast Boss on Squigosaur, something like that. Would have been nice, but hey. That's what we really get. You get this, so when you buy the index sheets, the data sheet cards, and Ork dice, which are going to be like $1 billion each. And then they go on to the Adeptus Custodes, which is a whole nother topic in itself. But that's the entire Ork Reveal and Codex kind of understanding we have so far until the official Ork Codex releases on Sunday or Saturday. And my mic should become by there, so I'll make a full in-depth video talking about that. I want to make this video quickly talking about all the Ork leaks we've had so far. Please excuse the audio if it's really bad, I hope it's not. But anyway, do all the YouTube stuff, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment so the algorithm likes me, and hope to catch you in the next one.